Guys, this is a big day. For 3 years, landowners have been beholden to a company that, in my opinion, has not treated the people of South Dakota very well. I first got a phone call almost 3 years ago by a wonderful lady named Rita Brown. Rita said, "Amanda, this is going on. This company has come to my door. They want me to sign an easement, and they told me if I don't sign an easement, they will put that pipeline wherever they want, no matter what I say." Rita said, "Amanda, can you help? Could you use your platform to tell our story?" And at that time, I thought, well, this is one instance, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I'm hearing about this company, and yet it's far away from me. I didn't really understand the full picture. And then an avalanche of calls came my way of landowners, 5th, 6th generation landowners, people that have been on the land since before statehood. And every single one of them is saying, we're getting coerced, threatened, bossed around, pushed around, and told we have no say in the matter. And I'm here to remind this carbon pipeline company that in South Dakota, no thank you is a full sentence. But that's the thing. For most of us, we want to take care of our kids. We want to build our businesses. We want to mind our own business. We want to be left alone. We're South Dakota nice. And yet when South Dakota nice got backed into a corner, what did we do? We took the high ground. We said our land is worth protecting. This South Dakota prairie is worth protecting. My home, my backyard, my neighbor are worth standing up for. We locked arms, and this isn't a Republican or Democrat issue. It is bipartisan in nature. It defies all logic. I travel across the country, and people ask me, how are you guys winning against a Goliath in South Dakota? And I say, you don't know South Dakotans the way I do. We stand together. We're stronger when we stand together. And the cows might outnumber people 4-1 in the state of South Dakota, but by golly, we're standing by the cows too. So that's what we're gonna do. Now, they've called us a small local minority more than a few times. They've said we're irrelevant, that we're against agriculture, farming and ranching, economic progress, and value-added production in the state of South Dakota. I don't know about you, and for all the people watching on social media, I want them to hear that we're not a small local minority. We rank in the hundreds of thousands now, so let's hear it. Last year, when they tried to cram a landowner Bill of Rights down our throats, when they put lipstick on a pig, which would have rubber stamped a project, stripped away your local control, taken away the voices of your counties and townships, we watched as the brick by brick got laid to favor the billion-dollar companies and not the people of South Dakota. I can tell you that was a long drive home from here for so many of us who were there in those committee meetings and on the floor listening and watching the votes as the galleries were filled with hundreds and hundreds of you who showed up, who made the trip on your own time and your own dime to stand up for what was right. And yet they turned their backs on the people. They slapped lipstick on the pig, and HB1052 came to be. And I thought that was it at the time. And yet what happened next? 500 unpaid volunteers on their own time and their own dime in just 90 days collected 38,000 signatures when we needed 17,000 signatures. Yeah, you guys did this. There's so many of you here and at home that went and you put in the miles. You went door to door. You collected the signatures. And all along the way, there were the naysayers that said, roll over. This project is coming. You're not going to have a say in it. Just let it go and be done with it. And you said, I don't think so. So in 90 days, you got enough signatures to put that on the ballot. We were outspent 15-1. $3 million was spent to disparage the people of South Dakota, the landowners, the citizens, the communities, the elected officials on the county and township level. $3 million from 7 entities was spent against we the people. We the people raised the money. A lot of us chipped in our own dime. We had pie fundraisers, humble pie fundraisers, and with every dollar we raised, it was spent traveling this state of South Dakota, telling the story of the people. Because in the heart of South Dakota, it's not a corporate conglomerate, it is the faces of the individual families. And last time I checked, you do not give up your independent liberties just because $1 billion from the donor class comes into the state of South Dakota. Am I right? Yeah. The primary election came. We voted out 14 incumbents who voted for HB1052. The regular election came and we voted in even more powerful servant leaders for we the people of South Dakota. Our leadership election happened, and now we have the House and the Senate, and they are both committing to standing beside the landowners. Yeah, they called us a small vocal minority. And then the RL21 results came in, and 65 of 66 counties and 59% of the vote said no thank you is a full sentence, and we do not want this bill. So the next step is abundantly clear. In South Dakota, our legislators, I see many wonderful legislators in the gallery today standing beside us, and I know there's many more that aren't yet here to appear that are ready to go to war for the people of South Dakota. I'm here to tell you the bill that Representative Lems introduced is not a racy bill, it's not a crazy bill, it is not out there at all. It is a response to what the people of South Dakota have clearly said. This is the people's bill. This is your bill, and I ask the legislators to pass it and pass it swiftly for the people of South Dakota. We have a mandate. We have the backing of the South Dakota Supreme Court. We have the will of the people from the biggest city of Sioux Falls to the most rural corners of the state of South Dakota. And at the end of the day, when we get to the final day of this session, I want to be able to say proudly across the great United States of America that in South Dakota, we may be open for business, but we are not for sale. Our next steps are clear. Each and every one of us needs to get to work. We need to support our legislators who have stood beside us this whole time. We need to welcome the freshman legislators and said, hey, we thank you for being here because many of you are here for this reason. Please help us, help you. We've got your back. You've got the mandate. We, the people, have spoken, and it's time for the results to be delivered. We need to contact our legislators, call, email, and let them know once this bill number hits the floor tomorrow that this is the bill to pass for the people. The people of South Dakota have been held hostage for too long. Building projects put on hold, businesses suffering, health of the people suffering, the ongoing stress that we the people have been held under for 3 long years. Now is the time to give that relief to the people. Now is the time to give that constitutional certainty that we deserve, that we are entitled to, that we have worked for. And now is time to send a message loud and clear that under God, the people rule. Thank you. guys.